Yeah, hi friends, welcome to Via Digitally YouTube channel. This is Anil. I'm going to discuss about Microsoft SQL Server string functions and conversion functions and null functions. What are the functions we can use? Either we have functions, we can have two types. One is user defined functions and system defined functions. But what is the usage of function? Function can be applied on any existing column level row values to identify the particular portion of a string or particular s- number position of a string, or we can convert it the date of a string, or we can change the format from one data type to another data type. Of the data type changes, we can use string functions or conversion functions and null functions. But where we can use, how we can apply at the real time, where we can use is nothing but we have an existing table. One existing table can contains multiple columns, each column under contains multiple rows. So I want to split the data, or I want to identify a position of particular character. I want to remove the spaces and between the characters, or beginning the characters or ending the characters, or we can change the date and time format changes, or we can get a particular part of date functions. We can discuss date functions in the next video sessions deeply, but currently we are working only on the string functions, conversion functions and null functions. Just we are going to the string functions. How we can work on it? A string function. String function can be used on existing string column name like char or data, or char varchar data types to represent the manipulation of a string. By can use string functions. How we can use the string functions. String functions can be used by an existing column. Example, I have an existing column, existing table with employee details. Employee ID, first name, last name, education, yearly income, sales, and department ID is my attributes in the particular object. What are the functions we have predefined in an SQL server? We have a multiple functions. We can go one by one. And the ASCII function. ASCII is nothing but an ANSI standard format function. It returns numerical value for the given character. Like what are the characters you can given, that characters representing number will be displayed as a output. Now you can observe how we can write an static and how we can apply the same function on existing tables. We can go through the two examples, how we can apply static and how we can apply an existing column name. So first we can go through the static part. Select ASCII is a function name. It returns numerical value given by the character. Now we can follow the syntax. ASCII value, ASCII function name with character. So I can ASCII function, I can pass the character. Now you can observe here, when I execute this query, it returns 65. That means this query, this function will be written number of a given character. Example, you can give small a, position is different, so number result will be different, 97. So based on that, like each and every character in our keyboard, we have a some it's allocated some number in the system part. Now you can observe 64. So how we can use, how we can use in the real time environment, how we can apply on the table part. Example, I want to apply my existing column name. Select star, you can observe, select ASC ASCII, and what is your column name? My column name is first name. You can observe first name, always it returns a first character of employee first name table. So you can observe here, it returns 83. Now you want to return a first name also in front of ASCII value, first name comma ASCII function with column name. And now you can observe, see, s is, it's written the first character number always. So in this purpose we can use an ASCII function. Then character function, it's a reverse, quite opposite on char function with ASCII function. ASCII function we can give a character, it will provide the number, but in char function we can provide an integer that represent the character. Now you can observe here, select char of 65. You can observe here, that's nothing but a. For this purpose we can use char and ASCII functions. And next function, CHARINDEX function. What is the char index? Character index. You can observe the first, you can observe the naming conventions. What is the char index? Char index is nothing but to identify the location of a substring in a string. Example, you can observe here, example, I have a name as SQL server. I want to identify the position of q. I want to identify the position of q. Position of q. Like this is the one string. observe, this is the one string. In this string I want to identify the position of q. What is the position of q? We can count the characters, first character, second character, third characters, and space also it will be calculated, fourth character, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th. Well, we have only 10 characters in this SQL server, but I want to identify the key position of this string. It's a string. This is the substring. Substring is nothing but a inbuilt of a string. If substring passed the substring value is available in a string, it will return the position of that character index number. If there is no value, it returns a null. Now you can observe the example how we can write a syntax. You can observe char index, char index of substring, which character of position you want identified in a string, and then what is the start position. Start position is an optional for char index. Now you can observe, select char index k, and k you can observe k cosmic and 1. I want to start my position 1, but I want to identify the substring in a string k. Now first you can observe 1, it's starting as 1 means what is the result? 1. I want to start the position as 3, then you can observe what is the result. Previously 1, it will return position like 3, it's still starting 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? You can observe 6. How it will get 6? My starting position is 3, then 3 next value 4, 5, 6. In 6th character we can identify the k. Like char index always returns the location of a substring in a string. String is nothing but coming from a table, or we can give a static value, but substring is a part of a string which character position you want to identify on a particular value or static value. We can use the syntax. Now you can observe here, select first name comma char index a. I want to identify the position of a character in my first name values. Now you can observe here, sri. No, there is no uh, character like sri, but I want to identify the a position. There is no a, it returns 0. And ram, it's a second character, it will display the second. And sita, fourth character, display 4. Bindu, there is no character, so it returns the 0. If identify the position of character, it will return the some position of a number. If not identified, it return the 0 values. And concat function, concat, you can observe the concat is predefined. Previously we can use, before 2005 version we can use plus symbol. How we can concatenate? Concatenate is nothing but adding two strings or two numbers we can use in the database server. But in database server we can use concat function. Concat function is used to join two or more strings into a one string. Example, simple example you can observe here, we have a first name, last name, middle name. We can maintain 3 different columns, but final result set I want to display as full name into a single result set. How we can concatenate these 3 columns data into our result set? By using concat operation. Now you can observe here, select concat, I want to concat technologies, cosmic technologies. Now you can observe how many values I can process. I can process 3 values. Now you can observe here, you can observe, but 3 values will be displayed as a single result. But how we can apply on the same function in our table name? Now you can observe here, employee id first name comma last name, concat operator, we can concat 2 columns, but this is the space between 2 characters, or else you can use the plus symbol also. And as full name, now you can observe here, select employee id, select employee table. We can getting the values from employee table with employee id first name last name, and we can apply the string function is like, but a concat function will apply on these 2 columns. That means these 2 column result will be displayed as a single result, but above first name and last name it will be displayed 2 different columns. So now you can observe here, employee id first name last name and full name. We in employee table we don't have a full name column, but how we can write? We can use a concat function. You can observe, we can use a concat function to concatenate first name and last name. We can call it as, in the result set we can call it as full name. You can observe here, you can see employee id first name last name last name. But this function is used by, this column result will be used under the concat function. Concat function concatenate more than one string at a time and send the result as a single output. Now you can observe here, how before concat, how we can concat the data by using plus symbols. Now you can observe here, first name plus last name, we can use concat data by using plus symbols. And now you can observe the data length. We have another function, data length. What is mean by data length? Data length function returns the length of an expression. Like you can observe here, You can observe here, simple example, you can observe ABC. What is the data length? It's nothing but a 3 characters. You can observe it is a 3 characters. Now you can observe here A, you can observe here first, you can observe here space space A B C space. Now presently how many characters we can give? We can give 2 spaces and 3 characters. Result is 5. For this purpose we can use data length. We can identify the part of length of a given characters or getting the column length of characters. Now you can observe here data length function returns the length of an expression in bytes. The data length function counts both trailing space and preceding space. Trailing space is nothing but you can observe here, trailing space is nothing but a end space. Preceding space is nothing but a before character space. You can observe here. Here you can count data length. We have only one given one character, but result it shows 3 characters. Why it means it will calculate the trailing space and end space between the given characters. How we can apply on the column name? You can observe here. Select, right, select a data length of first name. You can observe first name from employee. You can observe here first name comma data length of first name. Now you can observe 3. How many characters? 6 characters. Why? Because we have a length 6 characters, we have a spaces in between the characters and bindu 1 2 3 4 5 6 12 characters. 3 into 2, that means in bytes one character equal to 2 bytes. 3 into 2 6 bytes. But you can observe in expression when we can see that it's displayed as a bytes format, like 1 bit equal to 2 character, 2 bytes, 1 character equal to 2 bytes. That length it will be displayed into the result part. But now you can observe here we have another function length. What is the main difference data length and length? Length is nothing but what are the characters you can given, that characters will be uh, defined as a size of characters. And length and data length, main difference is data length it will be calculated preceding space and trailing space, but length function it not include trailing spaces in the length of calculation. Now you can observe here it will display, previously it will display 3, right? Now it will display only 2 because there is no trailing spaces. Now you can observe here, you can observe end space, you can give end space, it's a 2. First I want to remove character space before character and I can give after character space. Now you can observe here as a 1 because length function does not calculate trailing spaces, preceding space, trailing space. And left, and another function is left. Left function it extracts a number of characters from starting from light, starting from left of string comma number of characters. Left string comma number of characters is a function name. What is your string function? Facebook.com, like you can observe here, we can remove Facebook and we can take SQL server. I want to display from left to string. I want to display up to server 1 2 3 4 5 6. I want to give a 6 characters. Now you can calculate from left to right 6 characters. It will display left to right 6 characters. SQL server left to right 1 2 3 4 5 6. But I want to display only 3. You can observe I want to display only 3 left to right. Now you can observe SQL, right? And right function, how we can use right function? It's quite opposite on left. It extracts a number of characters from string starting from right syntax, right. That means I have a given string, that string will be written right to left. Now you can observe we can give a SQL server. I want to return 6. It returns only server, right? Returns only server. That means right side means this part 1 2 3 4 5 6. The 6 characters written as a output from the right. It means left means it will calculate the left and based on the given number of characters it will be read, and the right it will read from right to left and right to left and read based on the given number of characters. And L trim and R trim, we can observe L trim and R trim. L trim and R trim mainly we can use to remove the unwanted spaces in a characters on left hand side or right hand side. Now you can observe here in a left hand side I have a characters, right? You can observe here L trim cosmic, there is no space in front of character. But how we can get, you can observe here I can use length function. Length function, first you can observe in length function what will get 7 characters, but when we can remove this space we can get only 6 characters, right? Now you can observe here it's 6 because ltrim function it will remove the unwanted spaces in front of a given string or given value. Now you can observe rtrim. Rtrim is the quite opposite of ltrim. Rtrim it remove all the character spaces from the right hand side of a string. Like our syntax is rtrim of string. Select rtrim and cosmic, and we have a space end of the characters. But how we can remove? Like you can observe. We can observe here length function, and you can identify it's a 6 characters, right? Length function it will, because it will not calculated the trailing space, that's why it will display as it is 6, but you can use data length here, it display 7 characters. See, you can observe data length. Now you can run it and you can observe here 7, because length it will not display the trailing spaces, but data length it will display the, it will calculate the trailing space and end space count. But select and limit, you can observe here length, data length it will not be calculated, so here also you can use data length. Now you can observe here we can get both the result are different or same. See, before trimming it will display the 7 characters, length of 7 characters. After trimming it will display the 6 character, because we have a space end of column name. Now you can observe here uppercase and lowercase, it returns the characters from uppercase to lowercase. If you can use lowercase it will display the lowercase, uppercase and lowercase letters. Now uppercase, if we can give a data like all the characters are lowercase, but uppercase it will be written as a upper format, and lowercase also same, you can give up lowercase, all the letters are uppercase, then uppercase letters to lowercase. See, for this purpose we can use lowercase and uppercase. And very important topic in pat index. Pat index is nothing but a position of a pattern in a string. If the pattern is not found, this function returns 0. Now we can go through the syntax part. Pat index pattern, what are the patterns you have? We have pattern 0 to 9 or A to Z. For this pattern, in between of these patterns we can identify the position of a substring in a string. Now you can observe here what is the B position, 1 2 3 4 5. Now you can observe here what is the position of index 5. Like when we can see the char index and pat index, it will be representing the same functionality, but you can observe here CHARINDEX it would identify the position of a character place, but pat index it will return the pattern of, based on the pattern of position of a string. Pattern means A to Z is one pattern, 0 to 9 is one pattern, so we can identify the based on given pattern of a string the result set. Now you can observe here and replace. What is the replace? Replace is nothing but a set of characters with another character. Now you can observe how we can replace the value. Go through the syntax part. Replace function name string comma string to replace replacement string. Which string you want to replace from which replacement string? Now you can observe here, select replace. SQL Server 2014 is my string, and 2014 I need to replace with 2019. I need to replace with 2019. You can observe here how we can replace the data. Replace string, replacement string to replace replacement string. Which string you want to replace, from which value you want to replace, like 2014, but here you can observe 2019, but previously we have SQL Server 2014, but here we want to update 2014 to 2019. But character, set of characters we can update, we can replace it by using replace function. And stuff function and replace function will be treating as same, but you can observe here you can, but slightly different on the syntax part. String but string to replace, but here what is the, in which character you want to start, which character you want to end, then which character you want to insert. Stuff is nothing but a to instead of replace we can use the insert one string with another string of values. Now you can observe source string, my source string is SQL services. Start length, my start length is 1 2 3 4 and 5, my start length is 5, and end length is 8. You can observe here 4 4 8, but you can observe here end length is 10, end length is 10 also it will be work, because we don't have characters, but up to the characters it will be read. Now you can observe here SQL Server, but my source value is SQL services. In which point of character it will get the it will replace or insert the data by using stuff function. But how we can use data length? Instead of giving to this length start, my length is 1, my starting position I need to get with my cosmic. Now you can observe here what it will be happen. Cosmic technologies. Now you can observe here stuff, my source string is cosmic, and data length. What is the data length of this? You can identify it. You can take this out, you can get this out, and you can write a select statement to read the data length. What is the data length? 7, right? 7. Now 7 means 1 2 3 4 5 6 characters, and we have a space 7 character, but it returns the position is starting position is 7, then 8 character onwards it will be written. So cosmic and 1 starting position is 1, then it will be replaces the it will insert the value like that. Now you can go into the substring. Substring also it will be a specified portion of a string. Specified portion of a string. Substring string start position length. You can observe substring sub start position length. Which string you want to identify on an existing string. That purpose we can use substring. Select substring of SQL Server 1, 3. Now you can observe here how we can get it. It will get only SQL, right? That means my starting position is 1, my ending position is 3. Up to these 3 characters I want to read as a output. Then you can observe here select SCII, and I have concatenate with my substring of ram SCII 1. My starting position is 1, my length is 3. Now you can observe here what is the output. SCII ram, right? You can observe the output SCII ram. You can get an output. And a reverse, right? Reverse means it's a flip end to end. Example, I can give SQL Server, it will display the reverse order. It will display the reverse order. Now you can observe here how it will be displayed. Reverse REVERS, like SERVER server SQL. It's like a mirroring. Like when we can see the mirror, it will display the opposite side. So reverse is nothing but a display the value from right to left or left to right. For that purpose we can use a reverse function. Now we can move into the conversion function. In this part we can mostly before moving to the conversion or is null functions, in these string functions we can mostly working on left, right, ltrim, rtrim, CHARINDEX, PATINDEX, SUBSTRING, and stuff. Main we can get an interview questions on the stuff with XML path and substring. First, whenever you are working on the particular string, we should know the syntax. If you are good with the syntax, we can write an queries easily. Then moving into conversion, null functions. Null is nothing but a blank value, right? Null is nothing but a blank value. You can observe here. We can go through the one example. You can observe here null functions. You can observe here we have only is null and coalesce function. What is the is null function? Is null function, it replaces the, you can observe this is null function is used to replace null value with the another value or user defined value. Like example, you have an employee table. You can observe here, we can open the Excel file for the examples. You can observe here. Now you can observe here I have an employee ID. Okay, 1 2 3, sorry, 1 2 3, 3 employee IDs. I have employee name A and B, and I forget to give an null null. So how we can handle null value? Like if we can see if we can share this null value to the end user, it's a bad report because we cannot give as null. We can pass the error, not applicable, not available, like that we can give. But how we can provide? I can read the data from result set, but if there is a null value, how we can pass user defined value at runtime? For this purpose, we can use on SQL Server is null function. Now you can observe what is the syntax of is null. Is null, which column you want to return. If this column having null value, you can give my value as a result set. Now you can observe select is null of null comma SQL. First my value is expression is null. What it will be displayed is nothing but an SQL. Simple example you can observe here. We can go through the employee table. We can identify any null values in your column. Employee, right? You can observe here. We have a department ID null. We have a department ID null. How we can display instead of null? I want to display 0. If I have a null values in my column, department ID column, I want to display as a 0. Is null of department ID, right? You can observe DEPT ID, right? DEPT ID, comma 0 as DEPT ID, and before that you can also write DEPT ID. Like you can observe here, we can give alias name as DEPT ID. Now you can run it. Now you can run it and see. You can observe here we have a null value, and instead of null value I want to display as a 0. I want to display as a 0. Now you can observe here, we can go to the star part. Star is nothing but all the employee table records, but I want to display how we can display instead of null I want to display 0. Here you can observe up to this department ID is my existing table data, but in this column I want to I have identified null value, but when I am giving to the result to the end user, I don't want to give an null, I want to pass a 0. That means 0 is nothing but there is no department. For this purpose we can use NULL function and coalesce function. You can observe NULL function. If there is any null value on a particular column, instead of displaying null, it will display user defined value or another value. But what is the coalesce function? Coalesce function, it returns the first non-null expression in the list. Example you can observe here. You can observe here. I have a employee name, employee first name. You can observe here. First name, last name, middle name. Okay. Now you can observe here Anil, last name no, Kumar. Okay. There is a null value, okay, null value, and Ravi. Okay, and null value Geeta and null value. But how we can get how we can get first non-null value? You can observe here what is the first non-null value in these 3 columns? Anil. Anil is the, whenever you are applying on the coalesce function on first name, it returns the Anil. And if you have all the columns like employee fourth record cannot provide a name. Simple example. Okay, null, null, null. How it will be displayed as a value? Like if you can observe, coalesce function behavior is nothing but it returns the first non-null expression. Which one is the not blank value? First one Anil, it will display the Anil, and second row it will display null, null, and Ravi, it will display Ravi, and null, Geeta, null, it will display Geeta. If all the columns having null values, what it will be the output? And that time user can pass, user can define any value, that value will be as output. Now we can go to the practical part. Coalesce function, simple definition, it returns first non-null expression. Now you can observe here, select coalesce null, null, 1 2 3 null. How many records we have? First expression, second expression, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. If all the expressions are having, we can go to the fourth. Now you can observe here 1. But what is the first not null value? 1. That one will be displayed. For this purpose we can use coalesce function. Mostly we can use if we can maintain the values in 2 different tables. If first we can join, right? If first column is having, if first column does not have any value, that you can check with the second column. If we are having the second column, we can get it as a result set. For this purpose we can use an coalesce function in the real time part. And cost conversion functions. What is the conversion? Conversion is nothing but it will change the data from one type to another type, like data type, but it's not a base table. What are the functions we can apply here? These are all the functions will be applied on a existing column, but base table data never change, but a result set it will display based on the user requirement. For that purpose we can use string functions or convert functions, date functions, mathematical functions, or seasonal functions. And you can observe the cast function. Cast function is convert data from one data type to another data type. Now you can observe a cast expression. What is the value of, what is the expression? This expression coming from as a static value or coming from a table column. Now you can observe here as data type length. Like how we can declare a data type, like that we can declare a data type here. Select cast 14.85 as integer. but my cast function is convert the data type. What is the data type of this? It's a decimal data type. For this decimal data type, I want to convert it into integer. Now you can observe here 14, but here it will be a 14.85. It will be converted decimal to integer part. And in real time also we can use to convert the example. We can in the numbers part we can give varchar, but we want to, whenever we are applying the same some aggregate functions on the same column, it won't be calculated because then that behavior will be a that behavior as a character. But how we can move that numeric characters data type to numeric? That purpose we can use cast function. Cast is nothing but a change the data type from one data type to another data type at runtime. And convert function, converts also same. We can change the data type from one data type. Mostly we can use to change the date format part. Like example, default date format year month date. But how we can change the format style based on the user defined format? For that purpose we can use convert. Like you can observe here, select get date, select get date. It will display the year month date, hour minute, seconds, milliseconds. But I want to display only date. On that purpose we can use select convert. I want to convert date time data type to date, date time data type to date. For this purpose we can use date convert functions. And I can use the, I can change the date format as well. I can change the date format as well. Now you can observe here, now 112 what it will be happen. This input character string does not follow a style. They either change the input character string or a string. Now you can observe here 2020 0403, right, 0415. You can observe 112. Input character does not belongs to that. Okay, this column name coming from this value coming from a column. So you can observe here. For this number is stale date number. Conversion failed when converting data or time from character string. It will not be converted as a character. Now you can observe here. What are the format style numbers we have? You can observe here. First format 1, 101, month, date, year, and 102. You can observe here 102. Why we can go to the 102? Now you can run it. Conversion failed when converting the data from date and time or from data type. So we can fail it, and you can observe here get date. Now you can go to 101, 102. Now you can observe 2026 but we need to change the date format style by using the style numbers. By using this style numbers, you can go through the style numbers part. See how many style numbers we have. It's a default is month. You have getting data year month date, but I want to convert this type of formats like before century and after century, 100, 101, 102. Like these numbers will be a each and every unique style format. That numbers we can use inside the convert function. This is the convert function we can use to convert the data from one data type to another data type. In real time we can most cast our convert functions, and we can go to the all is null function, call ASCII function, all the functions we can use on a real-time environment part. So whenever we want to learn as a functions in a SQL server, we should know the basic rule of syntax, basics rules of syntax. How many arguments we can pass, substring, string, start position, and uh, start position, length, start position. How we can define what is the use of string function, but these functions we can use to do more practice to gain a more knowledge. Thank you for watching the video. We will catch you on the next session. Please subscribe my Via Digitally YouTube channel. Thank you very much.